Our top story this hour: in a dramatic escalation, North Korea has fired at least one ballistic missile over Japan, according to Japanese officials. The missile passed eastwards over Japan after launching from North Korea's Muepyeong-ri area at 7:23 a.m. local time.
北朝鮮は本日7時22分ごろ、北朝鮮内陸部から弾道ミサイル1発を東方向に発射しました。詳細については分析中ですが、当該弾道ミサイルは我が国の東北地方上空を通過した後、7時44分ごろ、太平洋上の我が国排他的経済水域外に落下したものと推定されます。
Now, the Japanese government has warned citizens to take cover and has urged residents not to approach anything suspicious. Authorities have also issued an alert to residents in northeastern regions of the country. It has further condemned the launch of North Korean ballistic missile, which flew over Japan before falling into the Pacific Ocean.
我が国上空を通過させる形での弾道ミサイル発射は、航空機や船舶はもとより、上空を弾道ミサイルが通過したと判断される地域の住民の安全確保の観点からも極めて問題のある行為です。我が国としては北朝鮮に対して厳重に抗議し、最も強い表現で非難しました。
South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff also said that it had detected the launch of a ballistic missile that was fired towards northeastern waters. Meanwhile, describing North Korea's firing of a ballistic missile as unfortunate, the top US diplomat for East Asia said that the path of dialogue was always open, further urging Pyongyang to refrain from destabilizing actions. Now, North Korea has fired 23 ballistic and other missiles this year, and the recent launch is the fifth round of weapons test by North Korea in the past 10 days. Experts are seeing these launches as an apparent response to military drills that were conducted jointly by South Korea and the United States of America. Now, for more on this, we're now being joined by our correspondent Chris Gilbert from Tokyo. Chris, thank you for joining us. What can you tell us about the latest weapons test by North Korea?
Well, it was certainly a rude awakening this morning for many people in Japan to turn on the TV over their morning coffee and find that a North Korean missile has flown over the country. So things are a little bit awkward and uncomfortable here this morning. It's been very close to home. We know that it flew over the northern regions of the country and that people who live in those areas received government-issued emergency warnings to find shelter, to watch out for falling objects, and we know that the missile then continued over the country into the Pacific Ocean, some 3,000 kilometers off the eastern coast of Japan. Now, this is the first time in 5 years that a North Korean missile has actually flown over the country. The people of Japan are quite used to these ongoing and repeated missile tests by North Korea, but they're not used to it being quite so close to home.
Right, absolutely. Now, reports say that these tests may be in response to the latest military drills. What can you tell us about that, and what does this mean for regional and geopolitical order here?
Well, Japan has come out. The Prime Minister has said that he strongly condemns these attacks. The government has said that North Korea is threatening peace and stability in the region. But as you said, just last week, South Korea, the United States and Japan were doing joint military drills. South Korea is concerned that there is a growing threat of a nuclear test by the North by the end of this year. And Japan itself has been, for a long time, wanting to increase the defense budget to 2% of GDP. And has said very recently it is almost very close to doing that. And there are ongoing calls by the government to change the constitution to allow Japan to have a military again. It's a long road before that happens, but Japan is looking at the threatening security issues in the region and trying to prepare itself alongside the United States and South Korea.
All right, Chris, thank you so much for joining us with all those inputs. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.